new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs has been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
You're listening to The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Real stories, powerful insights, and weekly inspiration to help you rise above life's challenges. Let's lift off with Dr. Lawrence Chatters on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Lincoln, Nebraska. It's Dr. Lawrence Chatters, and you are listening to The Law of Lift. I am just so grateful to have the opportunity on a weekly basis to share insights with you all about how people can get through challenging things. And I think, when I started this show a few months back, I don't think there's any way I could have potentially imagined that we would go through some of the trying and challenging times that we're currently going through, and just how much people need inspiration in this moment and how important that is. Like, I couldn't predict that, but what I can say is that I'm happy in this moment to be able to, on a weekly basis, contribute to positive stories that represent real human beings that are going through challenging things, that are able to overcome those challenges, and really just talking to them about how they do it. And the main objective of the show is just to be positive and really encourage people that are struggling to have hope, because hope is a very important thing to have. And so it's just an honor to have that opportunity to come onto the air every week and, share these stories of overcoming adversity and resilience and all the rest of the stuff that comes with it. And so it's a beautiful day in Lincoln, Nebraska. I mean, I was just walking downtown with my family, and I have Harrison in here with me. How you doing today?
There we go. Make sure my mic's on.
Yeah.
Doing fantastic. I'm still a little bit anxious, waiting for that Bears-Cowboys games. If we lose to the Cowboys, it's tough sledding for a start here. But
yeah,
no, I'm doing fantastic. Me and DP always talk about it. Sundays are fantastic.
Yeah.
Very similar to what you do. It's like a very good just pick yourself up kind of day. One of my favorite shows is we got Pete Ferguson. He's got Bigger Than the Score. He brings in young scholars. He brought in Rafa. And obviously after a Husker football loss, volleyball picked me up a little bit. But that extra, jump this morning, it's just always good to be in here on Sundays and just kind of re-lock in to what's important, because I spend Monday through Saturday talking sports.
Yes.
And then on Sunday, re-lock into my neighbors, my own community.
That's
and
awesome.
It's a kind of a great way to start the week.
That's excellent. And, the thing about sports and the thing about life is that, and I think the cross section or the intersection of it is that, there are essentially winners and losers.
Mm-hmm.
However, you can either lose or you can learn, right? Or you can win. And I think in many cases, as I talk to the people that come on my show and they share their inspirational journeys, they don't lose, they learn, and they move on to something else, and then they take a different approach. And so I think that's what's really cool about the human condition, is that we can truly make progress. We can truly find our way, and we can move forward, right? Despite what happens, even if your current NFL team is not doing that well, we can still wake up every day, put our clothes on, and survive, right? And I think it's so challenging too to see, how people get so deeply entrenched in following an organization that the rises and the falls of that organization really has a significant psychological and emotional impact on them. And what I can tell you is that really used to be the fact for me too. Like, I used to struggle. Like, when I was in the early 2000s, I was just a really, really big Husker fan. And I can just recall feeling so terrible when they lost. And it was just so hard for me to get over it. And I couldn't quite figure it out until I kind of started doing a little more deeper searching. And I just felt like, well, when they lose, maybe I feel like a loser, right? And when they win, I feel like a winner. And I had to disconnect myself from that thought process and that feeling, because truthfully, I wasn't out there on the field, right? And so, if I'm not out there on the field and I'm doing everything I can to try to help, as far as whether it be just being a good fan, watching, participating, going to the games, investing in the team by being a donor and different things like that, buying tickets. I mean, I'm doing everything that I can, right? Like, there's nothing else that I can do. And so I think I had to disconnect myself from that. And that's where I am now. And, I encourage people who are out there who feel really bad when your team doesn't necessarily, accomplish the goal that they're wanting to accomplish, is to, understand how important it is to disconnect yourself from the negativity if you need to. If it causes you a lot of stress, and I'm talking to you, Harrison, I'm talking to you.
I'm at a point where I've come, I was telling you my backstory, picking the city of Chicago for sports. I've grown a little bit numb to most of it, but
right.
and you're absolutely right. And you can get so blindsided about it. But one thing that's really cool is, and again, this isn't like a religious thing, but you're even seeing after the Nebraska-Michigan game, what do the guys do? You know, they get in the center of the field and they have a pray together.
Yes.
And that's kind of the other part of sports that we lose focus on.
Yes.
Is that, and then shout out, looks like we got one of our guests coming up here shortly, which would be fantastic. But it's one of those things where the community is why makes sports so great. It's the community that comes together to allow these things to happen.
That's right. And when you can watch a team come together and actually have the opportunity to share a prayer after such significant competition and a battle, that's what the real essence of athletics and sport is respecting people for participating, respecting people for being in the arena and their attention to their detail that they put into their craft. And it's about the joy of having the opportunity to compete and respecting each other even after the competition, before, during, and after the competition. And so I think that's what's so amazing about sport, is that, especially when you see that type of sportsmanship, when people get together afterwards and say a prayer, that, you know, it's amazing. So, but, you know, we like to bring inspirational people onto the show. And, you know, I would have to say that this guest that I'm going to have on today, which is really exciting for me, because I like to have great guests that have great stories on here that talk about overcoming adversity and all the challenges that come with, you know, dealing with really, really tough things that happen in their lifetime. And so this guest that I have on this week is very inspirational. And he's not only a friend of mine, but, you know, he's somebody who, as far as his perspective on life is concerned and his worldview is concerned, I would definitely have to say he's one of the more positive people that I know. And it's actually a brand of his to be positive, which, you know, is really unique. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to you my guest for today, Mr. Ricky Simmons. What's up, man?
What's happening, young man? Man, I feel kind of bad because I had my dates mixed up.
That's okay.
But I appreciate your patience with me, and I'm really honored to be on your show, man. I mean,
it's an honor. It's an honor to have you on my show, because I've been on your show before.
Correct.
Right?
And that's why I was like, oh my goodness, let me hurry up and get down here, man. I hope there's nobody looking for me for the way I was driving. But other than that, I'm here.
Listen, he made it over here from over by Wesleyan. And so, you know how it is driving in Lincoln. You can't go any more than 37 miles per hour.
And I got caught by every light.
Right.
And then I had a couple of Sunday afternoon cruisers. So
hey, you could depend on them in Lincoln.
Yeah, they are very consistent.
Yes, they are. So, well, anyways, Ricky, it's so great to have you here on my show. I'm excited to have you here. And, you know, I was just talking with Harrison a little bit earlier about, you know, the purpose of the show, and just the fact that in this day and age, we need some positive news. We need positive inspiration. And I'm happy to be able to contribute to that. And I know that you have a brand and an organization that's based on happiness and joy.
Right.
And we're going to get to talking about how that all came to be.
Okay.
But, you know, first thing I traditionally do, Ricky, on my show is I give people flowers. Okay. Now, you don't see a flower in here.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean,
exactly
right?
What you mean.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a big fan of that.
That's right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you your flowers. And so, you know, you guys, Ricky will talk about how him and I first met, and the circumstances were unique. I'll just put it that way. The circumstances were unique in how we first met. And what I would say is that when I first got a chance to meet Ricky, one of the things that struck me was just his absolute joy that he carried in his step and in his approach. And so you'd see this guy walking down the street and you'd be like, wow, that guy has a unique approach to life, with the way that he walks, with the way that he talks, with the way that he interacts with people. He came with a high level of joy and optimism. And I am a positive psychologist. That's kind of something I really ascribe to in my practice. And so I saw this person. I'm like, how and why is this guy always so happy? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. And it wasn't just in watching him walk and speak to people. It was in watching him interact with, you know, I'd see him basically like online, and he was always smiling, and dancing a little bit and listening to music and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is, I was like, I don't know if this is just an act or what the deal is. I'm trying to figure it out, because what I can tell you all is that most people can't maintain a high level of happiness like that all the time, or a high sense of optimism like that, because life is life, right? Life is difficult and there's challenges. And so I'm just thinking to myself, why is this guy always so happy? And so what I can also tell you is that I didn't really know the whole story when I first met him either.
Yeah.
You'll hear some of that story today, but I didn't know the whole story. And so when I got a chance to get to know him and the circumstances under which we met, it was kind of like, okay, so this guy's always happy. He's always, I would just see him coming through the athletic department.
Yeah.
And then one time, it was a few years back when Coach Frost was still here.
Right.
I had the opportunity to, actually introduce him at an event.
Correct.
And then I had the opportunity to stay at that event and listen to his story. And honestly, walking out of that space, what I can tell you is that I was probably even more confused after I left than I was going in, because I'm like, this man is, he's been through some stuff.
Yeah.
He's been through some stuff. He's experienced some things. And so it just increased my level of respect for him after hearing his story and watching him humbly tell that story that in many ways is about as self-deprecating as it can be. He told that story in front of the football program back then in order to help them understand the essence of life, an essence and understanding of redemption, the importance of leadership in your life and people who care about you long after you're gone and you've interacted with them, people who care. And I heard all of this story and I was just amazed. And so what I can tell you is today, as I continue to watch him on his journey of spreading that happiness and that joy, it's just amazing for me to see somebody who has experienced all the challenges that he's experienced, gone through the things that he's experienced. It's amazing for me to see how his outlook on life continues to be positive. Wow. And so, Ricky, there's your flowers.
Yeah.
I just have to tell.
No, I appreciate that because, first of all, again, thank you, man, for having me on. I look at everything as an opportunity, man, and you've been very, very, very open with me and been very helpful and supportive of me, and I love to help people. Period, but I got an extra bit of motivation to help people that has helped me.
Okay,
and I appreciate you, so I got to give you your flowers as well.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
so.
No, I for those of you that don't know who I am, I like to use humor, but I'm not playing, if that makes sense.
That's right. Yeah.
And how I met you, you were, I think at that time you were interning.
Yes.
And I was doing what I normally do, come through the stadium at least once a week. And I've been doing that. Actually, the story behind that is, even though he's no longer at the stadium, but Coach Osborne.
Yes.
Yeah. I always come to see him once a week, and I have done that religiously for the last 16 years.
Wow.
It's a short visit. It's 2 minutes max.
Yes.
And it's just more about accountability. And the story behind that we'll get to. But
yes,
I just, I met you, and you were interning under one of my teammates, Jamie Williams. Dr. Jamie Williams.
That's right.
It's like Dr. Lawrence Chatters. let's get that out there.
Yeah.
But no,
That's right. So it must have been back around 2014 or 15. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So my thoughts, was I meet people, and let's get this out in the open. I appreciate what you said about me, about the happiness part, because that's real.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I don't have the desire to fake anything.
Yes.
So it's just the way I look at life has been so, well, let me take the credit. I'm just going to put it myself I'm going to go where I'm comfortable, which is under the bus.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm a genius. I know y'all don't understand that. Let me explain. I'm so smart. I figured out how to go from the NFL to prison 4 times, and I went to 10 treatment centers and graduated 9 of them.
Wow.
So that right there alone is enough for the average person to throw the towel in.
Right.
But I somehow which I'm a spiritual guy. I don't push that on anyone else, but I believe God spared me for this reason.
And and so this is a wonderful place to start, Ricky, because first and foremost, I want you to know that I'm a spiritual person too, and I appreciate people being able to share their faith and talk about their journey and do it very openly. And on my show, there's a lot of space for that. And we're going to talk about from the NFL to prison.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about, how that happened and the story behind it. Where I usually start, though, and you all have gotten a teaser from Ricky because he told you he's a genius. And he, he's kind of laid some foundation for you, right? We're going to get into that. But where I usually start, Ricky, is where did your name come from? Tell me where you got the name Ricky, and is it Ricky? Is that your name? Tell us about your name. Where did it come from?
Let's back up to the beginning.
Let's back up to the beginning. Let's go.
The first 4 days of life, my name was John Doe.
Okay.
I've never officially met my biological parents, but there was two people that showed up at this hospital that I was left at after birth, and they said, "We'll take him," and that happened to be who I call my parents.
Okay.
Clyde and Bertha Simmons, who are both in heaven since 2006. But they showed up at this hospital in Tyler, Texas.
Wow.
And my dad had went to college at Tyler Junior College, or Tyler College. It was Texas College, I'm sorry. And so somehow, I don't know how it all came about, Lawrence, but they adopted me, 4 days old, and they named me Ricky Clyde Simmons. My dad never had a middle name, so they gave me his first name as my middle name.
I see.
So that's where the Ricky C. Simmons comes in there.
I see.
Didn't really. I mean, when people take you in,
yes,
and you're only 4 days old,
yeah,
I mean, you're just existing. But what I can now say with hindsight is they were both very educated people. My parents were both school teachers with master's degrees, and they were very, very, they were just good people at their core.
Yeah.
But they were very smart, and they laid this foundation for me from 4 days old all the way up until adulthood.
Wow.
I mean, they were
very, very influential. In your life
yeah. And see, and here's another thing too, that a lot of times people don't think about is we live, please keep in mind, your audience, this is my opinion.
Okay.
I feel like we live in a takedown society, which means, misery loves company, so to say. And my parents would never feed into that.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
you grew up around optimism.
Yes.
And despite the challenges that they were facing outwardly in society and everything.
Well, keep in mind, I grew up in Greenville, Texas.
And we need to talk about Greenville. You need to talk about Greenville, Texas.
Greenville, Texas, man. And that's a very unique place. I mean, it's home for me. I always go back to Greenville. I will always go back to Greenville as long as I'm able. But Greenville, Texas was the South.
I see.
And it was very, what's the word I'm looking for? It was a lot of tension.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so speaking of that, so first of all, that's the first time that I think I remember ever hearing that you were adopted. And so, and that the first 4 days of your life, you were John Doe. That is very powerful, right?
Yeah.
And, there's a lot in the name. And I think the fact that your parents decided that they were going to call you that and give you your father's first name as your middle name.
Right.
And then kind of complete this, give you a full name where he only had a first and a last. That's unique in and of itself. And that you consistently, and I wanted to make sure, when I introduced you, and I didn't, because I wanted to make sure, I know you always say Ricky C. Simmons.
Yes.
And I know that's likely a representation of respecting your dad and his name.
Correct.
And everything, right?
Correct.
So the first 4 days, and then you're born, and tell me the year that you were born, so we can get some context.
I was born in 1961.
Okay. So 1961, folks. And this is in Texas.
Yeah. And it was January 29th, actually. So it was a very, looking back on it.
Yeah.
Now, naturally, I don't have all the memories of being a baby, but
right.
But as I got older, I'd say 2 and 3 and 4 years old, I recognized something very special about my parents.
Okay.
You know, my dad was like he had a very entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay.
And it was all legal, you know, and everybody in our neighborhood was pretty much, you know, hard blue collar people.
Okay. Okay.
So my dad, you know, he capitalized on the neighborhood. He owned about 10 rent houses.
Oh, wow.
And then he was actually Uber before Uber, because he bought 2 20-passenger vans, because a lot of, especially females in my hometown, they worked at a place in Dallas called TI, Texas Instruments.
Oh, okay.
And and there was another company called Vero. So, and my dad, he figured, well, he hired another guy, and then they would go around every morning and pick up these women and drop them off in, you know, at Texas Instruments or Vero. And then my dad was a school teacher, so he'd leave and go teach school in Garland, Texas all day.
Okay.
Then go back and pick those ladies up.
Wow.
The other guy would come pick up the other ladies. He'd come home, take everybody home, and then my mom would always have dinner ready. So he would sit there and he'd eat dinner. And while he's eating dinner, I'm sitting there just watching him. I'm only like 5 or 6 at this time.
Yeah.
I'm watching him. And then he'd get done eating. He goes, "Ricky, you ready to go to work?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." You know.
Yes.
But my dad owned a pool hall and a cafe that was next door to each other.
Oh my goodness.
So he would go, and he was the cook in the cafe, and one of his relatives, Harold Redmond, actually, rest in peace, but he was the guy that ran the pool hall. My job was I drug a little metal milk crate around, and I watch all 6 tables. And when the 8-ball fall in, I run with my little crate, and I get up on the crate and I rack the balls.
Okay.
And collect the quarter.
Oh, wow.
But that was my job.
I see.
And I think the funniest part about that was I thought I was pretty cool because I could hang out with all of these tough guys.
Yes.
You know, because, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there wasn't a lot of places for people with criminal records to hang out. So they came to the pool hall.
I see.
And I'm amongst all these guys that's tough, but nobody ever messed with me.
Right.
I thought it was me.
Yeah.
But I later figured out it wasn't
That's
me.
right. That's
it was,
right.
There was a guy that always sat in the corner, and he would be sitting there staring at me, and he looked like he was probably the little, like the Incredible Hulk's little brother. You know,
Okay.
he's
Gotcha.
built.
Yeah.
And my dad had hired him to watch.
Okay. To keep
watch
an eye on.
Yeah. So
because I'm sure there were some wagers going on those tables, right?
Man, there was some wagers, and then here I am running around with a little money sack.
Right.
Some guy done lost all his money, and I heard this one time, but I didn't know what it meant at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 5, 6 years old. This kid goes, "We ought to rob that little dude." And the dudes, I remember him saying, "I'm racking the balls." I'm not thinking they're talking about me.
Right.
You know, and this other guy goes, "You see Iron Man sitting over in the corner?" He said, "You know what? You know what he's doing? He's watching that little kid. And if you don't hurry up and get away from that kid, Clyde's gonna come over and handle all of us."
Oh, wow. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. That's amazing to just hear about your early years. And, you know, I get this this sense in this overall picture in my mind of just a very hardworking person, your father.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
the fact that he was just capitalizing on, you know, hey, let me go ahead and invest in these vehicles and take these women to work so they can have an opportunity, because a lot of them likely didn't even drive, right?
Or didn't have a car.
Didn't have a car.
Yeah.
And so he was able to take care of that.
Yeah, because the drive from my hometown to Texas Instruments was like Lincoln to Omaha.
Oh, so it's about 45-minute deal. Okay. One way. And so he would do that and then go work, and the other guy gave someone another job.
Yeah.
And
man, that dude slept 4 hours a night, max.
Oh my goodness.
The pool hall closed around midnight, and then we'd walk home, and he'd be back up at 4 because he had to pick those ladies up at 5.
Oh my goodness. So you see this growing up, and you are a part of the enterprising side of things. And,
yes.
You know, it was just kind of really neat, I'm sure, for you to see all of that come together. And so, folks, you have Ricky C. Simmons in the studio today. And, you know, it's amazing to hear his story so far, but we're just getting started. We're just getting started, folks. And so stick with us on The Law of Lift. You're listening to The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters and Ricky C. Simmons on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back after this.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor. We want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Limitless Male says, it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to SmokingGunJerky.com and enter code early for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Now back to the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we are back, and you're listening to the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters, and I have Ricky C. Simmons in the studio with me today.
What's up?
It's just been so awesome to hear his story so far, and, I like to give a little recap and just talk about, where we're at right now. And so, Ricky actually started out by really giving me some information that I had never really heard before, which is the fact that he was adopted by two wonderful people.
Correct.
Who he has just, characterized as extremely hardworking people who are extremely smart, people who are in the education space, who had master's degrees. And this is the early 60s, you all, in Greenville, Texas. And so that is extremely unique to have two parents with such high education. And he's been talking about his dad and his dad's entrepreneurial spirit and the fact that he got the chance to actually help his dad around the bar and had a really important role, which was essentially being the vending component of the pool tables, right?
Yeah, I think they called it the rack boy, but that's okay. I had my little money bag and I had my metal crate because I wasn't tall enough to stand behind the table. I had to stand up on that crate. But
oh wow!
I love
great
my job.
I can almost smell the room, and there must have been smoke in there, right?
Man, like
you could hardly see, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, the no smoking zone hadn't been created at that time.
That's right. So, but it's just so awesome to have you here, Ricky. And early on in the show, folks, I just kind of described what I saw when I first got a chance to meet Ricky back in like around 2014, 2015 is just this extremely happy person who had a really significant purpose of making other people happy and just being a bright light wherever he went. And that was what I always recognized about him. He was always smiling and having a good time. And just, I was like, there's something about this guy. It's really unique. I don't know exactly, I can't quite put my finger on it, but something about him that's really unique. I know he's a former Husker and I know he comes around. He's a former Husker. He has, a history here in this space, but there's something else to the story. And, as a good psychologist, I continue to wonder and think about it and would eventually figure that out. But Ricky, right now, you are young and you're in Greenville, Texas. What's it like for you growing up as a little boy in Greenville, Texas? Tell us about what that was like for you. It's the 60s, you all. It's like probably, let's call him 8 years old. That's 1968. It's such a turbulent year in this country.
Absolutely.
What's it like in Greenville?
It's very tense. Racism was at an all-time high.
I see.
These things that I'm about to share is not the proudest things that I remember, but they were very relevant at that time. One of the things that stood out to me was my mother, totally opposite of my dad. My dad was a World War II veteran, sergeant in the Army, so I didn't even know he wasn't yelling when he talked. He just talked with that authority. He was really loud. And my mom, just the opposite, very soft-spoken lady. She had a habit of changing people's names. If your name is Lawrence and your name is Harrison, she would address you by that the first time, but the next time she'll address you, your first name is now baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was just a real sweet lady.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that got me was, having two educators in the house.
Yes.
School was like, it wasn't even a second thought. You knew you had to do good in school.
I see.
They checking homework.
Right.
And they were qualified.
Yes.
So I learned how to read a little earlier than most of my classmates.
Okay.
Because of my mother, she would have me reading all the time. And I'd say around mid-elementary, third grade, we used to drive into downtown every day after we come home from school because the first through the 8th grade, I went to school with my mother in this town 10 miles away called Caddo Mills.
Okay.
And on the way home, we had a P.O. box, and it was downtown. Now, this right here is something that I remember, but the governor of Texas, I'm not even sure who he was at that time, but he made Greenville take down this sign when I think I was in about the 3rd grade. But there was a sign when you enter downtown says, "Welcome to Greenville, the blackest land, the whitest people." And I could read. So I'm reading this sign. Wow. Yeah, I'm reading this sign every day, and I'm like, "Mom, yeah, baby." I said, "What's that sign say hanging there?" She goes, "It doesn't say anything." And I just, it's my mom. So I was like, okay, but I could read.
Right. You saw what it said.
I saw what it said, but I think in the 3rd grade, it was taken down.
So tell me, what exactly did that mean, Ricky?
Well, the way it was presented to us and the way it was taken in my town, whether they meant it this way or not, was just, I don't know how to say it without being, harsh, but it was like we were less than everybody else. They said the soil was black, but I could never make the connection of why I had to say the whitest people. Why couldn't it just be all people?
Yes.
But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Wow.
But it was a lot of racism and tension. I can remember a lot of things that weren't pleasant. One of them in particular was my mother used to always make me go to church with her. And we'd be walking to church, and it was not abnormal for a cross to be burning in one of my friend's yards.
Really?
And I'm like, "Mom, why is that?
Wow.
Why is that cross burning in the yard?" And she said, "Come on, baby, it don't mean nothing."
Oh,
my mom never would own up to that. She would never feed into that.
I see.
She was aware of what it was, and later on in life, I realized that what she was doing, she was protecting me.
Yes.
Now, my dad, just the opposite.
I see.
He was a no nonsense guy. They had this thing when I was I'd say around that time, 3rd or 4th grade, where I didn't know it at the time, but I guess we did a little better, financially than, because my dad was such a hustler. And I always got stuff like, oh gosh, I'd get Chuck Taylors was the Jordans then, So I get a pair of Chuck Taylors like every other week. My parents always kept me. It was my dad's thing. He always kept me looking like somebody.
I see.
That was instilled as a kid, and he would always give me these sayings.
Yeah.
I have now turned them into Rickyisms, but
yes,
it was all these sayings, and one of them was, "Ricky, you're $1 million guy."
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm 8. What do you mean I'm $1 million guy? He said, "Just remember, I told you you're $1 million guy." And so I was just, it was like, with that, what he was doing was teaching me how to carry myself.
I see.
And I had a new pair of Chuck Taylors on one day, and it was raining. And when I grew up, they had this little unwritten rule where, like, when you're walking down the sidewalk, if you met a white couple or white people, then you had to step off into the mud to let the white people walk by, and then you get back on the sidewalk. Well, my dad wasn't trying to hear that.
I see.
And his thing was, "Son, now you scoot over, but don't you step in that mud."
Right.
I just bought them tennis shoes. Don't you do that.
Right.
He said, "But you be nice and get over to the side, give them room to walk by." And a couple of times, they look at me funny, but they never did anything. And because he had instilled this other quality in me too, which is something I'm not proud of, but it's the truth. And that is, "Ricky, don't you start it."
Right.
But if they start it, you finish it.
Gotcha.
So I wasn't, it wasn't like I was a tough guy.
Right.
It's just I wasn't scared of nothing.
Right.
And all I couldn't handle, I knew there was a man named Clyde Simmons that was going to show up and have my back. So I grew up with a very high self-esteem.
I see.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm better than no one, because they always told me, never forget where you come from, and you're not better than no one.
Right.
Everybody's equal. And that's how that kind of leads to why I treat people the way I do today. But that's where that came from. I mean, I've always been told that I'm worth it.
So, and just a bit of analysis here, Ricky, because this is a really amazing point that you're making. And I'm really hearing this that, you know, you kind of have these parents that are very different. You have this mother who really is trying to shield and protect you from some of these bigger issues that are happening at the South at the time. Then you have this father who is essentially saying, I'm going to tell you what's going on. You're going to understand what's going on, but I'm going to also teach you how to be adaptable so you can survive.
Correct.
And not lose who you are as a person through that.
Right.
You'll step to the side, but you won't step in the mud.
No, I ain't stepping in the mud.
You have these shoes that I bought for you because you're $1 million guy. You're going to you're going to be a representation of being your mother, right? Which is how it goes, right? Especially from a military perspective, you have to be squared away, right?
Right.
However, you're going to survive in this very difficult space where, again, folks, this is the mid to late 60s in Texas.
Yeah.
And there's so many unwritten rules.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many challenges that people are dealing with on a daily basis as just a result of society. And you're growing up during this time. You have a father who's very enterprising. You have a mother who's really caring for you. And so it's neat to hear about that foundation of your life, because I think that a lot of people don't really understand what makes a person tick and how they look at the world. But this is helping me to better understand that you grew up with good self-esteem.
Oh, yeah.
You grew up with an education. You grew up with parents who loved you dearly. They were giving you the skills that you needed to survive in your world, and they truly cared, right? And so were you an only child?
No, I there was another child, but I don't. They were adopted too.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
I can't,
but this is your life, and
Yeah.
you get the opportunity with your family and your parents, and you truly are getting the chance to learn about what's happening around you.
Yeah. And out of fairness, I'll say this. I explained that during the break. I just certain things I can't talk about,
Yes.
but I look at myself as an only child.
Gotcha. That's good. That's good to know. So the other thing that's really kind of ringing true for me as I listen to you talk about this is just that as you look back on it now, it sounds like you are truly understanding how the dynamics of both of your parents played into making you who you are.
Oh, 100%.
Because you're going to church
Yeah.
every week with your mom.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was getting in plenty of trouble in church because I didn't want to be there. But
I see.
I know that if I didn't go, it was more trouble.
That's right.
But no, actually, man, they laid a perfect foundation for me. I've often compared to my upbringing to this show that half your listeners weren't born when it was out, but it was called Leave It
to Beaver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had everything I wanted. Didn't want for anything. And I was just like, if someone in my neighborhood didn't have something, then I would make sure they had it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was, I've never been selfish like that. And I was just in Texas about 3 weeks ago, and one of my buddies I grew up with, he told me, he goes, you was the only one growing up, man, that didn't know you had it better than everybody else. Because if I had it and they didn't,
right,
I gave it to them so we could all have it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was that guy.
You were that guy.
Yeah.
You had enough.
I had enough. I had more than enough.
Okay.
So if you say, hey, man, let's go get a hamburger. Well, I don't got the money. I'm like, don't worry about it. I got you.
Oh, wow.
And not to try to embarrass them, but if I knew, let's say we're going somewhere to get a hamburger, when we're walking, I would slip them like a $10 bill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that it wouldn't look like they didn't
have.
Yeah.
I see.
And then, that's just who I was all growing up. I mean, I'm one of those type of people where I get joy out of seeing others smile.
Yes.
It's just something, I don't know what that is. I blame it on my parents because they always told me to treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yes.
But they also encouraged me not to expect it in return.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
because
so
that way
giving anonymously, right?
Well, yeah, if you just treat people nice, man, and they be difficult or be something negative towards you, that ain't on you.
That's right.
That's on them.
That's right.
So, I mean,
that's such a lesson too in life. And, I've talked about that on my show before, just the importance of being kind and being nice.
It don't cost nothing.
It doesn't. And people don't even recognize just how many things will essentially come your way in life because you've been kind. And these are things that are ripples that may even impact people that you don't even know because you're kind to someone, and then someone else gets to know that person and they know you, and they're like, well, this person's very kind, you know? So there's just so many different, things that we learn over the course of our lifetime. And again, as I talked to you about first getting to know you and everything,
Right.
this real positive approach to life. And now that I'm hearing your foundation and where it all came from, I better understand it.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I'm glad you went back like this because it'll make everything else as we move forward in this interview. It'll make things make more sense to your audience.
Absolutely.
Because I grew up in a very adverse situation. It was a lot of adversity, but there was no adversity in my household.
That's right.
It only happened when I left the house.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I walk outside, I see some stuff that I was like, wow, man, I never experienced that,
Right.
And most of and I will say to credit of my neighborhood, which is College Hill, is the name of my neighborhood. We have the College Hill reunion every year, but the one thing about College Hill, just about everybody I know had two-parent households.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was, it was always a mother and a father in the house, and you can get discipline anywhere in the neighborhood.
You had more than one set of parents, right?
Oh man, you can be 2 blocks from home and doing stuff you ain't got no business, and you get handled right there on the spot by somebody else's parents, and the phone call beat you home.
Yes.
So when you get home,
it's gonna happen again.
Oh yeah, it's on. Mama's standing in the doorway waiting
because she's already heard the news. So
I got a phone call from such and such, and they said that they had to do something to you, and so just come on in here.
That's right. So folks, we'll hear even more about this as we kind of close up this first hour, but you're listening to The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. I have Ricky C. Simmons in here today with me telling us a story. We'll have more right after this.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Rollouts have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster, fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Off will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloff.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Now back to the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We have Ricky Simmons in the studio with us today, and it's just been so amazing to hear about his journey thus far, growing up in Greenville, Texas. First of all, he's taken us on a bit of a historical journey just back into the United States during that time frame in Texas in the South. And, I can see him being basically unwillingly dragged to church on a Sunday with his mom. She's in her Sunday's best. He's dressed from the top to the bottom, just looking as fresh as can be, getting ready to go cut up in church.
Yep.
Because he doesn't want to be there.
Don't want to be there.
But, I also see him walking confidently through the pool hall, racking up balls with his little step stool. And, this is really golden, Ricky, because, on my show, what I like to do is give people a visual of how people are made and their personalities are built. And that's what is so important about getting to know somebody's story from the very beginning, is that you have a better understanding about the twists and turns of their life. And that's what I try to do on my show. It's a 2-hour show, so it's a long show, right?
Yeah, right.
But I get the opportunity to develop and hear people's stories develop as we go through it, so I can really help my listeners understand and connect. Because there's a lot of other people out there that they can connect to and they can relate to your story based on what they're hearing, right?
Correct.
And they can attach to it. They can learn something from it, and that's really the goal of the Law of Lift. And so I appreciate you being so just open today and talking about these things and talking about, and this is the part that I love because I'm a big history buff. And so talking about the historical context of the United States at that time frame and how it impacted you directly.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget you talking about walking to church and seeing a cross burning in someone's front yard. That is a poignant visual, that you are going to church to worship and you see a cross burning in someone's front yard. That is very powerful. And so I appreciate you being so open and sharing about that, because, it's not unknown that we're dealing with some challenging times and that we do need to come together, and we do need to be able to see each other more respectfully and engage with each other more respectfully. And I was talking with Harrison a little bit about that at the top of the show, is just to have a couple hours or a Sunday that is inspirational and positive is a really good thing in this day and age, because we need positive. And I always am looking for the positive. You said you don't watch TV. That's something else you didn't even know that you and I have in common. I don't watch TV. I don't even watch TV myself, man. I will tell you. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure how much people watch TV anymore, because a lot of things are on our phones, right? We're getting these reels and TikToks and all the rest of it. But that's something that I haven't done for the last 15 years, is I have not really watched TV. I don't watch TV. First and foremost, I'm always too busy doing something else. I got something else going on. I like to keep myself engaged and fully, involved in the community and everything else. I don't have time to sit around and watch, in many cases, sensational things that are happening that I have no control over.
Correct.
Things that are going to bring me down, things that are going to cause me to feel negative. And so, just laying the foundation for where we are at this point. When we come back at the top of the next hour, folks, we are going on a journey with Ricky C. Simmons, and I do not want you to miss it, because what I will tell you is that he's about to take you on a compelling journey of how he, the genius, went from the NFL to the DOC, which is the Department of Corrections, and somehow found himself back in a space where his tagline is "Get Your Happy On." Folks, we'll be right back after this on 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor. We want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Limitless Male says it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
You're listening to The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Real stories, powerful insights, and weekly inspiration to help you rise above life's challenges. Let's lift off with Dr. Lawrence Chatters on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right, Lincoln, Nebraska. You're listening to The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. I have Ricky C. Simmons in here with me today. Absolute energy. Energy is in this space today. That's what I can tell you. We're having some great talks in between, but what you're hearing on the air today is the story of a man who has been through some things. And, you know, we like to talk about resilience on this show, and the Law of Lift is really about, you know, all the different forces that go into helping us get off the ground and stay off of the ground. And sometimes that includes, you know, the potential of hitting rock bottom and needing a lot of people to help lift you up, and just really digging into your constitution as a person, who you are, your foundation. And Ricky's been telling us about his foundation this last hour, you guys, and we've heard a lot of great stories. And so now, Ricky, you know, walk us through, you know, as you start to get older in Greenville, Texas, and start, you know, doing your own thing and everything else. Take us through some more of the journey.
Okay, I'll try to give you the Cliff Notes version because it's kind of extensive. But I will say this. I think this is the part that people don't know about me. I'm not a real big football guy. I'm a really big football fan. But as far as the game of playing the game, it's not my deal. Okay. Football was a thing that it was a situation me and my dad, we made a deal in the 5th grade, and it got carried away. 5th grade, I wanted this bicycle. He said, well, son, I was a pretty good football player. If you'll play football, get you these little things you think you got to have. Well, 5th grade was a bicycle.
Right.
Well, 7th, 8th grade, I finally figured out that all females weren't bad. So I wanted a girlfriend, but I ain't had no game. So I went out for the football team and got the latest clothes, adjusted my walk, got a girlfriend. Okay. 16 in Texas, you get a driver's license. So wanted the car, didn't know how to ask for it. I went out for the high school football team, made the team. My dad bought me a brand new car.
Oh my goodness.
At that point, I was ready to, I had arrived.
Right.
Life was over. I wasn't thinking about football. I was just playing this sport that I could do naturally.
Yes.
And still get what I want. Well, I'll be honest with you. I underestimated the power of high school football in Texas.
I see.
Them people are serious out there, and I don't even like the game. You know, I'm just out here trying to get material stuff.
Right.
And I think it came down, I started a pregame ritual, which I'm not proud of today, but I'll share it with you. It was because I couldn't quit the football team. I was scared I was going to lose my car.
Okay.
Okay, so I started this pregame ritual. I drank 1 Old English 800 malt liquor. I drank half a bottle of Robitussin D on cough syrup. I drank half a bottle of Thunderbird wine. I smoked 2 Red Bud Colombian joints, and then I would take 20 milligrams of Valium. Then I would go play football.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's pretty safe to say that I don't remember nothing.
Wow.
But, you know.
And this is in high school, right?
High school. Because I was just trying to keep my car. So I just go out here. And they had me on my junior year. They put me on defense, man. I'm allergic to contact. And they got me playing defensive back. I'm not running up and tackling nothing.
Right.
But the guys on defense knew that I didn't like tackling or I didn't like contact. So they would just say, Ricky, use your speed. And if somebody tried to run outside, you just run to the sideline and make them cut back.
I see.
And then we'll take care of it from there.
I see.
So I could do that.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have to hit nobody. I just make him cut back. And then when he goes back, that safety was cleaning him up. Well, My senior year, the star running back from the year before, he got a full ride to Texas Tech, so they need a running back. So I was like, I can play running back because I can kind of dictate whether I get touched or not.
Right, with your speed, right?
Yeah, with my speed. I wasn't big, but I was fast.
Yeah.
So I kept the pregame ritual, and first play of every game, my senior year, the first play, they would always run me right up the middle because my head coach knew what I was doing.
I see.
And so the first play, I'd get lit up. I mean, basically nearly undressed, because these guys are D1 guys. They're trying to get to the next level, and I'm out here just trying to keep a car.
Oh my goodness.
And man, they would stand over me and talk real crazy to me. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Where's the rest of my uniform?
Right.
And they would always be like, "Yo, man, hope you brought a lunch. It's gonna be like that all night." Dude, why are you so angry?
Right.
And then I realized they were trying to intimidate me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Clyde Simmons
came back, right?
Yeah, I'm not a punk. I just don't like football.
Right.
It's the difference. So when I go back to the huddle, I'm like, "Yo, man, give me the ball." And they give me the ball. I go 80 yards.
Wow.
And it was that way. I mean, at the end of 10 games, we were 9-1, led the state of Texas in rushing, and had over 18 touchdowns. And I don't remember nothing.
Oh,
I read about my career in the newspapers the next day.
Wow.
After high school, I was cool because I was like, okay, football is over. I ain't never got to play football no more. And I was coming home one day, and there was this line of cars in front of my house, like stretching for a couple of blocks. So I made a couple blocks, man, and
trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, man, what's going to happen? I don't think I've done nothing,
Yeah.
Well, it was coaches from different colleges offering full scholarships.
Oh, wow.
And so I come through the back door, and one of my high school teammates was a freshman on OU's team. He was a year older than me, but we grew up in the same neighborhood. So he's sitting in there with Barry Switzer, and they're talking about all the things that Oklahoma was doing,
right?
Which I ain't gonna admit to, but anyway,
it was a different package.
It was a different package. It was NIL before NIL.
That's right.
Okay, but anyway, so I was like, man, I ain't really trying to play no college ball, but I know I gotta go to college because my parents are teachers. I know I'm going. I just don't want to play football, and I'll go and be a student, but I don't want to play football.
Right.
Well, the genius kicked up and said, "Well, dude, you like to do this and you like to do that. With the money that mom and dad saved for college, if you take a scholarship, you got money to party all the way through college."
Yes.
See, that's
what you're thinking.
Yeah, that was my mindset,
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, listening to Oklahoma's little spiel, and I was thinking, wow, I like that. I like that. I like that. I said, okay, I'll go to Oklahoma. I'll be a Sooner, and I'll run in the wishbone. And about that time, the doorbell rings, and I go to the door, and I'm just being transparent, I was always under the influence.
I see. Okay.
So, I went to the door, and there was this tall redhead man standing there. And I was like, yeah, can I help you? And he says, "Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, the head coach at Nebraska. I'm here to offer you a full scholarship to go to school and play football." And I misunderstood him, Lawrence. I said, "Sir, I'd like to thank you for coming all the way down here from Alaska, but I believe it's snow up there.
Right.
I can't do that. I'm from Texas, man. We don't do no snow. You have a safe trip back." And I shut the door.
Wow.
So I went back and started talking to Oklahoma, and my mother goes, "Baby, who's at the door?" I said, "Some tall redhead man from Alaska."
Right.
I told him to go head on, Mama. We ain't doing that. And she ran to the door and opened the door, and Coach Osborne was still standing there with his arms crossed. And so I'm over here with Barry Switzer going, "Man, let me get that right now."
Right. Right.
And we're talking about the rest of the fall. And he was like, "Yeah, we can make that happen." Then he saw Coach Osborne and my mom walking to the den. He goes, "Oh, man." I'm like, "I can't have it? What are you saying?" Selfish. "I can't have it right now?" And then I looked and I saw my mom and Coach Osborne going to the den. I was like, "Oh, man, don't worry about that dude. It's snow up there. I know I'm not going there. I'm not going there." Well, my mother comes around the corner and she says, "Baby, let's hear what the coach from Nebraska has to say before we make the final decision." I'm pissed, but respectful.
Right.
"Hey, Coach Switzer, you and Elba, come wait outside, man, but don't go nowhere. As soon as I get rid of this guy, I'm coming to get y'all." And when I came back in the house, my mom, Coach Osborne, and my dad sitting on the couch, and I started my little interview process, which was 3 questions. "Hey, man, I'm what kind of car are you going to buy me?
Oh, my goodness.
And Coach Osborne never said a word. He just looked at me. And my mother was doing all the talking. And then my dad left the room. So I'm really feeling myself now. And my mom said, baby, they're not going to buy you no car. I'm like, strike one. Say, man, what kind of apartment you going to get me? He ain't saying a word. My mom, baby, you're going to stay in a dorm your freshman year. And then after spring ball, you can get your apartment. Strike two. And then third one, hey, man, I'm leading Russian State. Am I going to start for you as a freshman? He never said a word. He just looking at me. And my mom was, baby, you're going to play on a freshman team your first year. And then in the spring ball, you can compete for a position on the varsity. Strike three, we out. So I'm going to get my school, going to get Oklahoma. But what I realized was while I was listening to what Nebraska wasn't going to give me,
yes,
my daddy was outside telling everybody to leave.
Wow.
So when I went outside, I was out there by myself. So I come back in, I got a little attitude, I'm 17, 18 years old. I'm thinking I'm kind of feeling myself. I was like, I made the biggest mistake of my young life is I raised my voice to Mr. Don't Know How to Whisper, which is my dad. It's like, what school that I want to go to? And my dad stood up and pulled his pants from his waist to his chest. He balled up both his fists and started walking toward me. And I made a business decision. I started backing up. And when I couldn't back up anymore, I took all the bass out of my voice and I was like, Dad, where are we going? We're going to Nebraska. I said, go Big Red. That's how I got here.
That was the
yeah. That's how I got to Nebraska.
Oh my goodness. So there were other coaches there.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of other things.
But Coach Osborne had a flight to catch.
I see.
So he couldn't wait his turn. So he was just going to introduce himself.
I see.
And
it ended up being.
Yeah. Well, he had what I now know, and he won't admit it to this day, and my parents won't admit it either. Well, they're in heaven now, but they had the meeting before the meeting.
I see.
You know what I mean?
I see.
So they made the deal before I even started my little 3-question interview.
I see. Gotcha. So you end up coming to Nebraska, not Alaska.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
And so
I figured that part out.
You figured that part out. That's hilarious. You said there's a lot. Now there was a lot of snow up there, but not as much as there is in Alaska.
Yeah,
so you knew you were going to have some cold winters.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't real pleased with coming here because I only saw Nebraska back then. There wasn't like it is now where you got all these games, all these different networks or whatever. So you saw them once a year. It was usually Oklahoma and Nebraska.
Yeah.
And they would, if they played in Lincoln, it was always snow around the field. So I just assumed it snowed 365 days a year. Every time I see them, there's snow in there.
Right.
So it's just my ignorance.
So you get up here, and is this going to be like right around 1979 that you first come to Lincoln?
Yeah, I came in 79.
Okay, so you get up here, and I mean, first of all, I'm still getting over the shock of your pregame routine. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't bring that to Lincoln with me.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Right.
I just left that in high school.
Okay, gotcha. I cannot believe that's what you were doing in high school.
Yeah.
You were surviving. So clearly you had some talent.
It was God-given talent. I ain't lift no weights. I ain't worked out.
Oh my God.
My buddies all on the team, they be running in the hot Texas sun and shit. I was like, man, I'll meet y'all at the park when y'all when it's over. I'm not doing all that.
So when it comes to you getting to Lincoln, tell us what that experience was like for you getting here and transitioning away from Greenville for the first time in your life. You're out of the South, you're in the Midwest now, you're here in college. And what exactly was that transition like for you?
Well, let me say it this way. My quarterback in high school, he got a full ride here too. So we came here together.
Okay.
So that helped.
Okay.
His name is, rest in peace, Nate Mason.
Okay.
Nate and I got, well, let me just be honest with y'all. I got fooled before I got on the plane because I had this brilliant idea because I am a genius, I'm going to get out of being up here. And I got intoxicated. And I'm one of those guys that can't drink alcohol, never have been. I don't know what that is. Everybody drink 2 or 3 beers and they be the life of the party. I drink 2 beers. I need a cab. I need help getting to the cab. So alcohol always did me worse than my friends. But I got high before I got on the plane. And when I got on the plane, the lady asked me would I like anything to drink. And I ordered 3 Budweisers knowing I couldn't drink.
Oh, wow.
That was my great plan to get out of Nebraska.
I see.
I'm going to be so messed up when I land in Lincoln. I might be in Alaska. I don't know where I'm at.
Right.
Well, I got here and they took me from the airport to the stadium and told me I had to run a 40-yard dash. And I'm like, dude, I'm not in no shape to run no 40-yard dash today, you know. And they go, yeah, you got to run a 40. So, and then they asked me about what size shoe I wear. And I'm like, what difference does it make? I'm not doing nothing today. And they go, no, you got to run a 40. And I didn't, Nebraska had turf.
Oh, I see.
I'm from Greenville, man. I mean,
you used to grass.
play on grass, dude. I mean, so they put me in these turf shoes. And when I'm walking out, I looked up. And as soon as my feet hit the turf, I'm looking up at how big the stadium was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm drunk and I'm intoxicated. I fell. And everybody started laughing. The Lincoln Journal-Star reporter and Omaha World Herald, they both laughed. It's like, and I heard them. This guy came, we went to Texas, get this guy. He can't even walk.
Oh, man.
I said I don't like football. I never said I was a punk.
Right.
So now I'm mad again. So I get up and I run a 40 and they got quiet. They go back down there and run that again. So I went back and I ran again. And took a good old healthy Budweiser belch. And I ran another 40. Second 40, I became the fastest wingback in the history of Nebraska football.
Wow. And so this is your intro to coming here.
Yeah.
And again, you know, there's just always that spirit in you of, you know, I might not be making the best decisions, but I'm not going to feel intimidated by people.
No, I fear God.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else I don't fear, you know, and that's not a tough guy. That's just, that's just who I am.
So continue walking us through that first year of college. And just...
you know, some of the upperclassmen noticed that I was a little intoxicated.
Yeah.
But they were superstars to me.
I
you
see.
know,
Yeah.
You got Russell Gary, Rodney Lewis, and Junior Miller, all these guys I done seen. I Am Hip, all these guys I done seen on TV.
Right.
Jarvis Redwine. I'm
like,
man, you know. So they kind of took me in, and I did pretty good my freshman year all the way up to Halloween. And then Halloween Eve, I went to bed and everything was cool. And I woke up and it was like 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground. I panicked. And I was like, we got a free day.
Yeah.
Because in Texas, if snow just falls, it don't have to stick. We cancel everything.
Right.
I called the sociology department to make sure we didn't have class. The lady said class as usual and hung up. Like, man, mama gonna be mad today. I ain't going to school. So I better make sure we don't got football practice. And I ain't gonna leave. So I called over Nebraska football. May I help you? I'm like, hey, y'all cancel practice today? The lady said, is this Ricky? I was like, yes, ma'am, but it's snowing outside. We don't go outside. I'm from Texas. We don't go outside in the snow. She said, Ricky, you'll be here at 2 o'clock like everybody else. Get your ankles taped, be in team meetings at 3 and be on the field. We'll see you then, Ricky. And hung up. And I did what full scholarship stud athletes do. I started crying.
Oh, my goodness.
And I ain't talking about sniffling. I mean the crocodile tear, the whole 9 yards. I'm like, then I did the second thing we do is I call
home.
I call mom. She answered the phone. I was just hysterical. Mama, these people done lost their mind. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, Mama, it's 3 feet of snow on the ground. They didn't cancel school or practice. I'm coming home. And my mother was very calm. And she said, well, baby, you know, if you want to come home, you can come home. And I was happy then because I felt like I was done.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, but I need to tell you something before you start packing. I was like, what's that? She says, when I see you in that Dallas-Fort Worth airport, I'm going to whoop you all the way back to Lincoln. I know that don't mean nothing to y'all, but I can explain.
Right.
When I was a kid, my dad was so physical, he never disciplined me. When I got in trouble as a kid, it went like, Ricky, go tell your mama. I said, tear your behind up. And then I go, Mom and Daddy said, turn my behind up. And she's like, okay, baby, go out in the backyard and get me a switch.
Mm.
And when I go out there and come back with a little old something the size of a ruler, she's like, oh, baby, I can't do nothing with that. And when you're like 7, it looks like she'd go get half the tree. And I tried running a few times too, and she was faster than me. So I made another business decision, stayed in Nebraska.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you get to this point and tell us a little bit about what major you chose when you got to school and kind of about your academic journey, because I know you've consistently been good academically.
Yeah.
Did it continue?
Yes, it did. I chose business at first.
Yeah.
But my genuine love is working with youth.
I see.
So I switched to recreation administration.
Okay.
And because I always wanted to run like a boys and girls club or, you know, or just something that involved the youth.
Yeah.
So I pursued that. And like I said, had a lot of success academically and athletically at Nebraska.
Yeah.
And our teams did real well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
so you're here from 79 all the way through.
83 was my senior year. My last game for Nebraska, we were #1 team in the nation for 12 straight weeks.
Wow.
We went to our third consecutive Orange Bowl.
Okay.
And we played Miami.
Okay.
On their home field. And at the end of the game, we went for 2.
That was the infamous going for 2.
Yeah. And we missed it.
And that was your final game as a
That was
Husker?
my final game as a Husker.
Okay.
Yeah. And so 2 days after that game, I was all set to go back to Texas for a couple of weeks before the second semester started. You know, planning to graduate in May and go on with my life with no more football. Well, when we got back to Lincoln, I got a phone call from the USFL. So I wasn't trying to play pro football at all, but then when I saw the contract,
right,
you know, it ain't no money compared to what these kids make now. But
right,
back in the 80s, man, it broke down about $10,000 every week.
Wow.
I'm like, well, I guess I can keep playing. So I went to I got drafted by the Washington Federals. And my first, that was an 18-game season. Keep in mind, I played from August to January 2nd or 3rd, whenever that Orange Bowl
for
was.
Nebraska,
For
yeah.
Nebraska, and then we're in camp at the end of January, and we played all the way through July.
Okay.
They played it opposite the NFL. And we actually used the Redskins, well, the Commanders now, but
Yeah.
they was the Redskins then. We used their facility. And that's when the wheels fell off, really, because in my rookie year, I will not call other people's names, but I will throw Ricky under the bus. But there was a guy on my team, he had some attitude issues.
Mm-hmm.
And he just happened to be the quarterback.
I see.
And he hadn't talked to nobody for 6 weeks in camp. You only heard him talk when he called a play in the huddle, called a snap count the line of scrimmage, and when he cussed you out for dropping his passes because he threw the ball really hard. But he never got to cuss Ricky out because Ricky was catching everything he threw.
I see.
Because I didn't see a football. I saw $10,000.
Gotcha. You were externally motivated.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, man, that's 10 grand. I'm grabbing that and I'm running off with it.
Right,
Touchdown.
right.
So our first game of the season, we played, I think it was Herschel Walker's team, New Jersey Generals, and they beat us like we stole something. My team in the pros was not very good at all.
Wow.
And after the game, everybody was all sad. Like, we got 17 more games and we suck. I'm like, man, I'm skipping. Today is Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, I get 10 grand. That's all I was thinking. And I heard this voice I had never heard before. It was like, your name Ricky, right? I don't know anybody in Washington, D.C., so I kept walking. They go, hey, man, your name Ricky, right? And I turn around, it was my quarterback. I'm like, yeah, man, what's up? He's like, hey, man, I ain't got no friends on the team. I'm like, I saw a pet store driving into RFK. If you want to get a friend, you might want to go get you a puppy or something, but I ain't your friend. I don't even like you. And then I kept walking, and he goes, hey, man, I just need somebody to get high with. Now you got my attention.
I see.
And so I invited him over to my house, and he introduced me to a drug. I was always talking about smoking weed because I did smoke weed, but I didn't do anything else. And he was talking about, he came over with a lot of cocaine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, I got this weird dude in my house. I'm going to do this with you tonight, but don't come back. But after about the 4th or 5th hit, most addicts will recognize what I'm about to say. I got the hit where your eyes get the size of silver dollars and you can hear a rat piss on cotton 2 blocks away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow. And he goes, it's good, huh? I'm like, yes. So I took a seat and we did it all night. And I got hooked right away.
I see.
And I started 18 games as a rookie. High.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So, and we'll get back into the story right after this. This is just interesting. So, you leave the Orange Bowl, the infamous gone for 2, and then you're off to the USFL. And folks, we're in the middle of this story with Ricky C. Simmons, and you're listening to the Law of Lift, and we're just learning a lot about life right now. It's the mid 80s, and things are going on. So we'll be right back after this break on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Suizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Suizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Suizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Rollouts has been an trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Rollouts will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Rollouts make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrollout.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Rollouts, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Now back to the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You're back on the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. And, man, we are hearing an amazing story from Ricky C. Simmons in here today. And it's been so awesome to have him be so genuine here on this show and talk about all the different things that were going on in his life as he's gone through his journey. And, you know, as I analyze everything and I'm just kind of learning more and more about him, you know, I started the show off by talking about how positive he is all the time, and hearing more about his journey and just having a better understanding of the things that he experienced over the course of his life and some of the challenges that he faced and everything else. I mean, it makes more sense to me now. So it all makes more sense to me. But right now he was just talking about his time in the USFL and unfortunately being introduced to a harder drug than what he was used to, and getting pretty significantly addicted to it pretty quick. And so talk us through just kind of, you know, the rest of your pro career, and then what were the next steps in your life at that point?
Okay, well, pro career, like I said, I started 18 games as a rookie. Got introduced to cocaine after the first game and played the rest of that year. We lost so many games, the owner sold our team. We was like 4-14 or something like that. And so we beat the second year in the league. We was the Orlando Renegades.
Okay.
And
that same team.
Same team.
Okay.
We just switched
moved
city.
down to Orlando.
Yeah,
okay.
Moved to Orlando and picked up right where I left off in Washington. And after that season, the league folded.
I see.
And I got picked up by Atlanta Falcons. And before I could play my first game with Atlanta, cocaine convinced me that football was getting in the way of my using.
Oh, wow.
So I walked into the head coach's office 3 days actually before my first game with the Falcons. We were going to play the New Orleans Saints. And I told my coach I quit. And he started laughing because he goes, "Man, we're going to feature you Sunday against the Saints, man."
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, okay. They told me to go get dressed. I went to the parking lot and I never came back. So
wow.
that's how I missed the weekend practice, missed the game.
Yeah. And
Monday morning they released me. And trying to speed this up, basically quit the NFL to be a full-time drug addict.
Wow.
And I went from the NFL to prison 4 times, went to 10 treatment centers and graduated 9 of them. And I was in prison for the 4th time when I had lost everything, including my parents, who I cherished more than anything. And I was playing chess one day, which I'm not very good at chess, but I love to play. And this guy I'm playing with, he was beating me for like 6 months, man. I didn't win a game. And then one day, I guess he was just bored, and I beat him. You just thought I made parole or hit the lottery. I was all excited. Yes, I knew I was going to get you, dude. And he was like, "Yeah, you won that one." I was like, "Man, where you from?" He's like, "I'm from Omaha." I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm from Texas, but I live in Lincoln. When I get out and you get out, drive down Omaha with my chessboard, and I'm going to kick your behind again." And he said, "That will never happen." So I said, "All right, set him up right now. I'll go upstairs and get some coffee. I'll come right back, and I'll beat you again today." He said, "All right." So he started setting the pieces up, and I went upstairs to get some coffee. And my cellie was in the cell, and he had a newspaper in his hand. He goes, "You know that guy you've been playing chess with for the last 6 months? You know why he's here?" I'm like, "I don't care why you're here. I'm doing my time. I can't do his time." He said, "You might want to read about him," and threw a newspaper at me, and then he walked out.
Right.
And I read about it and kind of summarizing. He was doing cocaine one night with a female, and I guess late at night, maybe midnight or so, they ran out of cocaine, and he was too high to go get it himself, so he gave the money to the female to go get some more. But she didn't come back. And the next day, he saw her and her teenage daughter walking down the sidewalk and poured gasoline on both of them, set them on fire.
Oh, my God.
Killed them both.
Wow.
He's actually doing double life plus 300 years. So I was like, oh, my God, what do I say to this dude when I get back down here? But anyways, I'm sitting there, and then there was one guard at Tecumseh who used to always mess with me. He was a little short guy, but he used to pick on me every day, and went like, "What's up, inmate Simmons, former Husker superstar?" I'm like, dude, one of these days I'm gonna do something that I can't undo.
Yeah.
And here he comes after I heard this bad news, and he said that, and I was like, man, I just heard this bad news about my chess partner. I think today is your day, partner. I'm finna do something to you that's gonna probably keep me here for life. And he had a letter in his hand. I guess he looked in my eyes. He could see the look and saw how serious I was. So he threw this letter on the floor and took off.
Yeah.
And to this day, I choose to call it God. But instead of going after the guard, I stopped to pick up this letter. And I know I wasn't getting no mail.
Right.
But I was going to put it on my cellie's bunk because he was getting mail every day.
Yeah.
But from the floor to his bunk, I glanced at it, and it had a big red N in the corner. And it said, it was from the Nebraska Athletic Department. And I was immediately embarrassed because, man, talked to Nebraska athletics for 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
So after about a couple of minutes, I got past the embarrassment, and I opened the letter. And it was only like a paragraph. It said, "Dear Ricky, I know your parents believed in you. I believe in you. And upon your release, if there's anything I can do to help you, feel free to contact me." And it was signed Tom Osborne.
Wow.
And right there in my prison cell, I fell on my knees and I turned my life over to Christ. When I got up off my knees, my thinking started changing.
Yeah.
And I wrote down 3 things. First thing I wrote down was PMAs, positive mental attitude. And, I kind of formed my own concepts of that. And then second thing I wrote down was a plan. Get a plan. My plan was real simple. I'm going to become a licensed drug and alcohol counselor and a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
And then after that, the third one, I said, you need motivation for the first 2. And I call them haters. I feel like everybody got them. And I had no credibility, so I know people will wait. And any day now, when he gets out, he's going to do something and be right back in here because that's what the statistics says.
That's right.
Well, I got out and I went seeing Coach Osborne. He was still AD at Nebraska at the time. Long walk, by the way, too, just because I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I went in his office. The secretary said, "He's waiting for you." I don't even know how he knew I was coming, but anyways, I went there and he said, "Ricky, how can I help you?" And I was like, "I just need somebody to put their name behind me because I have no credibility." He said, "Well, let me hear your plan." And I told him what I was wanting to do. And he said, "I love that, and I'll support it. And if anybody questions who's behind you, just give them my number." I said, "Well, no, I'll give them your secretary number. I'm not giving out your number."
Yeah.
And from that point on, I put together a speaking career. Keep in mind, I smoked cigarettes for 35 years, smoked marijuana for 35 years, smoked cocaine for 25 years. But today I'm 16 years and counting, clean and sober. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do any drugs. Now, when I'm living on the edge, I will have a Sprite with no ice.
Okay.
But that's
as much sugar's in that,
Yeah, I know that's when I'm living on the edge.
That's living on the edge.
Yeah,
Okay.
two Sprites.
Okay.
I gotta call Uber.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's amazing, Ricky.
But that's
16 years and about 4 months, right?
Yep.
Absolutely amazing.
So I look at it like this, man. I've dedicated the rest of my life to making my parents in heaven proud of me because they never got to see the Ricky that you guys are looking at.
Wow.
Or you're listening to, I should say.
That's right.
I will say it this way. I've been traveling the country for the last 16 years.
Yes.
Going in churches, high schools, businesses, car dealerships, athletic programs on high school and college level, treatment centers and prisons, trying to encourage people to make better choices. That's why when you was referencing earlier about me being happy,
yes,
that's where that comes from.
Wow.
I'm on a mission.
Yes.
I'm on a mission that I'm going to die on this mission.
Wow. Ricky, that is so incredibly powerful. And you just walked us through a substantial amount of time in your life where there was a lot of difficulty. And I know I've heard a little bit more about some of the darkest days of those times and everything else. Yep. And one of the stories that really sticks out to me is you talked about being in the house with your parents.
Yeah.
And just something that your father said to you.
Oh yeah.
And you need to tell me that story, because that's such a powerful story.
Back in 2004 and 5.
Yes.
My parents were up in age. My mom had, she was diabetic, beginning time of dementia. My dad was he was 80 plus, but he was just physically starting to fail. He was on a walker. So every morning, I was still in Lincoln at that time, and I wasn't, I was kind of still struggling.
Yeah.
But I would, every morning, 7 o'clock, I would call home, and my dad answered the phone, and I was like, we called my dad Big Man. I was like, Big Man, what's going on? He said, well, son, I'm fixing some coffee for me and your mama. And I said, Big Man, you don't sound right. And for the first time, he said, son, I think I need you. My dad had never asked me for anything. I mean, I'm late 40s at this time, or early 40s, I should say. But anyways, so I took off, went to Texas. And for 2 years, 2004 to 2006, I pretty much took care of him by myself. Now, I was not healthy, but I was there for him. And every night about 10 o'clock, I put him to bed. And I kept the house extremely quiet so I could hear if they called me.
Yeah.
And I'm in my room doing drugs. Wow. Because I had to be up all night providing 24-hour care. That's not an excuse. It's just the truth. And I heard this clanking noise. Clank, clank, clank. It was my dad's walker coming up the hall. And when he got outside of my door, he had like a flashback or one of those moments where he went back in time. And he, my dad's real loud. And he's like, Ricky, scared the you-know-what out of me. I'm like, I'm in the room doing cocaine, man. So I ran out in the hallway. I'm like, what's going on, big man? He said, I need you to promise me 3 things. I'm like, okay. He said, no, say you promise. I said, okay, Dad, I promise. What is it? He said, son, don't you never give up, because he knew what I was doing. So I said, okay, Dad, I won't give up. And then he goes, and the second thing is, you need to put God in your life. I'm like, Dad, I ain't going to lie. It won't be tonight, because I'm doing stuff in here right now. I know it ain't going to be tonight.
Right.
I said, but in due time, I will. He said, okay, that's fair. And then the third thing, he said, and the third thing ain't got nothing to do with nothing but me, Ricky. He said, every day you blessed to see, you get up and you look like somebody, and you do that for me. And he clank, clank, clank back to his bed. Well, the next morning, I was fixing him breakfast.
Yeah.
And he had a stroke.
Wow.
He never spoke to me again. So the last 3 words he said to me was, look like somebody.
Wow.
That's why my documentary is named that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so dedicated and motivated.
And that's so powerful. And I remember you telling me that story, and just hearing about all the trials and tribulations that you went through. It's first and foremost, it's a blessing that you did get the opportunity to care for your parents in their final days and support them. But it sounds like there were still some challenges while you were experiencing that, right?
Yeah,
still things going on.
And that's the whole thing. See, I'm not proud of this, what I've shared on your show, man. Don't take it as this like a badge of honor. But I feel like by me being vulnerable, it might help somebody else.
Absolutely.
Because if you hear my train wreck of a story, and then I'm running around here with 16 years clean and sober, that's living proof.
It is.
That it's possible.
It is. And folks, you've been listening to the story of Ricky C. Simmons today on the Law of Lift, and just absolutely amazing. So when we finalize the show, we'll talk about what he's doing today and what the future looks like. But you're listening to the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters on 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll be right back after this.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloff.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Now back to the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right, Lincoln, Nebraska. It's the last segment of the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. I have Ricky C. Simmons in here today, and man, the breaks are crazy. I mean, we're just having a good time in here. Ricky is something else, man. But anyways, as I started the show by talking about, his very positive outlook on life, and we've learned a little bit today about where that mindset comes from and what he has survived, and how in this day and age, his main objective is to make sure that other people know they're not alone, that they can find the support that they need, that they can find their way out of addiction. He talked about his plan that he came up with when he made that shift in his life and turned his life over to God as well. And so, Ricky, just tell us a little bit about what you're doing in this day and age, and like what the future looks like for you, and how people could maybe connect with you if they're interested in having you speak to them.
Well, let me start off by saying this. Again, thank you. I want to say that for having me. My mission is to help people not make poor choices. And I've been traveling around the country for the last 16 years speaking, and I'm always looking for more opportunities because I feel so blessed that I'm still able to do it. So I speak in all different venues. There's church, businesses, car dealerships, athletic programs on the high school and college levels. I go into treatment centers. I go into prisons. I've dedicated my life to making my parents in heaven proud of me, and this is part of my mission. And if people are interested in having me come and speak, I have a website, rickycsimmons.com.
Okay.
And I will, once people reach out to me, then I share that information with Kim Kelly, who's my business partner, and she actually does the setups and the contracts and stuff, because Ricky's not good at that part.
Gotcha.
And the reason I'm so thankful that Kim is available to help me with this, because I got this high self-esteem deal.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to put a value on what I do because I feel like, first of all, God spared me for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like to price myself out of an opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
but also I don't like to be disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, everybody is in paid status, but you want me to come for free. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is how I make a living. So I always encourage people, you know, if they're interested, to go to rickycsimmons.com. There's a link on there how to book Ricky, and send an email. Be sure to have your name and a short message and a phone number. And Kim Kelly will reach back out to you, and we'll see if we can get something on the schedule, you know, to have me come out and speak.
That's amazing. And, you know, folks, I've had the opportunity to see and hear Ricky speak on a number of different occasions. And, you know, he brings a lot of energy into the space. He brings a lot of humility, and he brings a lot of reality. And I think, you know, when we talk about those things in this day and age, we need more humility in this day and age. I think we need.
And I use a lot of humor too.
And he does. You know, I mean,
I love to laugh.
He's a funny person.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that happiness, I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that, because a lot of times when I've had so many people say, man, how can you be happy every day? Well, it's a choice.
That's right.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying my life's perfect.
Right.
Don't misunderstand this. I mean, I see what everybody else sees.
That's right.
I just know from personal experience, I deal with things better when I take a positive approach toward it.
Yeah.
Because if you're angry and go try to deal with the problem, usually the results are going to reflect that.
That's absolutely right. And, you know, energies follow each other, right? So if you walk around with a certain level of high level happiness and good positive energy, you know, it does take a lot to dull that energy.
Right.
And, you know, for me, and this is what I always have to tell people, it's just, I've never seen a situation where you're dealing with someone else, whether it's someone you call on the phone or someone you're dealing with and trying to ask them for something. I've never seen a situation where being mean and angry with that person has led to positive results, right? Usually it just makes things tougher.
It makes it worse. And to be honest with you, you hurt yourself more than you hurt anybody else.
Absolutely.
Because stress is not my friend. I don't know about anybody else. But stress,
there's a scientific component to that. Cortisol is not good for the brain or
I mean,
the body,
I like to laugh anyway. So when adversity strikes, my first reaction is to laugh.
Yeah.
And then I'll process it, and then I'll deal with it. But I just don't see the value of being angry with someone for whatever reason. I mean, short of putting your hands on me, I'm pretty cool.
Yeah. And so again, to kind of end where we started, you know, folks, this is a person who I saw early on who was just always smiling, always had a very positive outlook. And, you know, I was just kind of really trying to figure out what's behind all of that.
Yeah.
What's behind all that, you know, what I see on the front. And what I've realized more and more is that this is real. This is who he is as a person.
Yeah.
This is a result of him recognizing the value of peace in his life, the value of having another opportunity to live and be who he wants to be and bring honor to his parents.
Right.
And really at the center of it, you all, what I've recognized is that it's just a matter of him having this wellspring of positive self-esteem.
Yep.
And I think that when you have that wellspring of positive self-esteem, there's nothing that can really bring you down, because you have the opportunity to say, you know what, I can look at this differently. I can change my perspective. I can reframe it, and I can make something positive out of any situation. And as I've heard your story today, Ricky, and I really appreciate my listeners having the opportunity to hear about it, you know, I really think of your day of lift as being the day that you got down on your knees, you turned your life over to God, and you decided that you were going to go in a different direction. And then after that, sobriety would follow. And that then accelerated this opportunity that you have to turn around and give back to the community in so many positive ways. And I got a chance to meet you on the other side of that, you know?
Yeah.
And so again, as I talk about all the happiness and the joy that I saw, you know, I realize now that it truly is genuine because of how far you came.
Well, I mean, it's real, man.
Yeah.
I'm at a stage in life where I don't need to fake with nobody. You know, I just genuinely like to be happy. Every morning that I'm blessed to see, it really is another day of paradise. I wake up with this, like I'm in shock. Yes, I get another chance, you know, to live another day and be positive.
Yes. So don't forget to catch his show. It's coming up later on this evening. Tell him about your show real quick.
Yeah, man. Tonight, 8 to 9 on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Get You Happy On Hour. And I got a good special guest today. I got Jason Peter in the house. So, hey, Tune in tonight if you're available.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to The Law of Lift. I have Ricky C. Simmons on here telling us his story, lifting us up. As I always say every week, I hope you lift off. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful week.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our